So, what's the anatomy of SharePoint? What are the different areas? What are the major components? So, let's quickly get into that now. First thing you're going to see is you're going to have a left navigation. This is probably the main thing that you're going to really access in terms of your navigation within your SharePoint site. And you can edit and make changes. You can move things around. You can add new links here. So, that's your first major area, your left navigation. And then you have your contextual navigation, which is at the top here. Depending on what kind of site you're on or what page you're on within SharePoint, the contextual navigation changes, hence the reason it's called contextual. And then some of the other major areas you have are the site information or site settings. That's a major area. And then you have the top header area, this area where it has a search and it has the site settings. And then here you have your profile information. And then you have in the middle between the navigational areas, the site name. And this is basically the home button. So if you're anywhere within SharePoint, if you click on the site logo, and this is a logo in a sense, it'll take you back to this home page. So we first talked about the left nav and the contextual navigation. We'll jump into contextual navigation a little bit more. If I say go to a document library, here you'll see the contextual navigation a little bit more clearly, where it's basically, as you can see, it changed from the home page. Now we're on a document library. The navigation has changed up here. And then if we add any documents, when we click on a document, the navigation would change as well. And then the next part is the settings. Here, this is where kind of your control panel, you can go to library settings, you can go to site contents, things like that. You can do all the administrative stuff from here. And then, like I said, with respect to the logo, as you can see, I'm in the site content right now. I can now click on this logo and it'll now take me right back to the home. Those are all the major components. And then, of course, last but not least, I should have mentioned this, the content area. So the content area is basically the area that has all the content. So if I click on edit, it'll allow me to edit the content within the content area. I'll just discard changes. And of course, remember the contextual navigation always changes. It's changing to now a publishing type of navigation. And I discard changes, okay. And if I go to a document library, again, the content area is this area where I would have all my documents would be showing. And then above the content area, I'll have the contextual navigation. So those are the main key areas within SharePoint in a nutshell. There's a lot more, but to understand SharePoint, these are just the basic fundamentals. So once again, you have your left navigation. And by the way, the left navigation, it can be changed. You can change it if you don't want it to be on the left. So to do that, you could simply go to change look and feel. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so you can change the header, but we want to change the navigation. So right now it's currently set to vertical. We can change the horizontal. And then we can set it up where it has cascading or mega menus. And so we can just leave it as cascading. And so now this is how our site will look. So now if we go back to the home, remember you could always go back to the home from the site logo. Now as you can see, our page is still looking pretty nice, but now the navigation is up top. And I like this, it makes it a little bit more modern. And once again, the features and the capabilities are all the same. You can still edit the left navigation still, just the same as you did when it was on the left, and even though it's now on the top. And then, of course, this still is another layer of navigation. So if I go to document library, you're going to have the contextual navigation still right below the content area. But of course, now instead of the navigation on the left, it's now above you. Okay. And then above that, you have the header, which has the search and then it has the site settings. So that's it. Want to keep this really quick and brief. And again, I have courses if you're interested to get more in depth. You could definitely sign up for those courses to get more details and things like that. All right, thank you.